There were some headlines over the weekend that seem to suggest you no longer identify as being Nigerian. Of course, you were born in this country, you spent your childhood in Nigeria. Were those headlines accurately reflecting what you were saying? What's your sort of status in terms of how you identify British, Nigerian, all the rest of it?
Well, I think that the BBC certainly wrote that headline. It wasn't quite what I said, but it is true.
Kemi Badnoch ni Kemi Badnoch has continued to make her feelings and resentment concerning the nation Nigeria known to the world ever since she became the British opposition leader from the Tory party, the Conservative. Now, she has granted so many interviews, and there are news reports out there and a lot of rhetoric on Nigeria, talking about so many things she's not happy about Nigeria. Not that she's saying it for there to be reform, but in a way, she's always putting the country on the spotlight, making people know that look, this country doesn't fit to be recognized as an important country in the committee of countries. Now, in this interview, the interviewers was asked to get some clarification on the last interview she actually held with a news media, I think probably BBC. And then Kemi Badnoch didn't miss her words, and she was quick to say it, even though she admitted that she was misquoted. But of course, said clearly that, look, I'm not a Nigerian by nationality. And she was quick to say that, look, in Nigeria, there are so many ethnicity there, and she's not aware of an ethnicity called Nigeria. Now, if you are an intelligent person, you should know that, look, Badnoch is trying to let everyone know that, look, listen, I am a Yoruba person. I stick to my Yoruba-ness, but don't call me in Nigeria simply because I'm Yoruba. That's just what she meant by that statement. I will leave you to watch this very brief statement from her, and then I will come back with my final take.
There were some headlines over the weekend that seem to suggest you no longer identify as being Nigerian. Of course, you were born in this country, you spent your childhood in Nigeria. Were those headlines accurately reflecting what you were saying? What's your sort of status in terms of how you identify British, Nigerian, all the rest of it?
Well, I think that the BBC certainly wrote that headline. It wasn't quite what I said, but it is true. My main identity is as British. That is what I see myself as. Nigeria is a nationality. It's not an ethnicity. There's no such language as Nigerian. There are lots of different ethnic groups there. And I think that as a politician in this country, we need to be very focused on what is happening here, not what's happening elsewhere. And every day, I see loads of Labour MPs in particular talking about every other country except the UK.
Now, looking at that, don't you think that I was right I'm right rather with what I just came up with? Every intelligent, I was quick to read several comments, and then a lot of people were saying something different. But a particular man was said something similar to what I said. And look, this woman is trying to let everybody know that, look, I am a Yoruba person. Now, for the fact that I'm a Yoruba person, I need not identify with Nigeria. That there are a lot of laying emphasis on there are a lot of ethnicity there. Why should she have to come up with that kind of statement that there are a lot of ethnicity in Nigeria and that she's not aware of an ethnicity called Nigeria? That she's trying to distance herself from being in Nigeria, even though she's a Yoruba person, and Yoruba is one of the ethnicity in Nigeria. No, now looking at the whole, the entire gamut, and then what do you think? Do you think Badnoch is trying to send some signal to the world or to Nigeria look, or to Yoruba opinion molders and shapers that look, do something about the Yoruba ethnic group, pull out of Nigeria. What do you think? Isn't that a subtle message that look, listen, pull out of this federation called Nigeria? It's not benefiting you. You don't need to be part of Nigeria. If you want, if you want the Yoruba ethnic group to progress, of course, it's not a new thing. There are groups in the northern part of Nigeria calling for the separation of entities called Nigeria. There are also groups in the Igbo subethnic group who wants Nigeria to go their separate ways. But this is another interesting side to the entire matter. Coming out openly, telling the world that look, I'm not aware of any ethnicity called Nigeria. That statement alone is an indication that look, this woman only wants to identify with her ethnicity. So hit me up in the comment section. I want to know Kemi Badnoch, the rhetoric she's putting out there, the conversation she's putting out there that look, listen, I am not of Nigeria's nationality. I have denounced my Nigerian nationality almost 20 years ago. I've stopped uh, renewing my passport. I'm no longer in Nigeria. So I am not in Nigeria by identity, but I am uh, in Nigerian by ancestry. And that she meant, look, there's a particular ethnic group that is part of Nigeria, which I can never deny. And that ethnic group is definitely Yoruba ethnic group. So let me know, what do you think about that statement? And what do you think government should do about it? What do you think Yoruba opinion molders and shapers should think about it? Hit me up in the comment section. This is Trending Nigeria. I'll see you in the next video. My name is Naro.